So now you can actually see that the Project Wormwood is there. The third angel sounded his trumpet, and a great star blazing like torch fell from the sky. This is actually in the passage here. You see that? It's over 100+ years, this Bible, and it reinforces what's showing up in the internet today. So going back with the strange weather events that's happening today and the connections with the passages in Luke 21, knowing where Wormwood is, and you knowing that it's 2029, and knowing that there are successions of trumpets, when you start backing off to the scriptures, because there's like 7 seals and 7 trumpets, what's going to happen is you get to arrive with the years. So you have 2027, 2026, 2025, 2024. I've actually made some marks here that there's going to be a maxillary cellular event 2025 to 2026. It's actually showing this, and then I put in Earth's magnetic field is going weak. The reason is something to do here in line verse 13 and 14. Then there's like a disruption in the heavens. And then if you back from the dates, 2022 was when the war started in Russia. So it was 2022, yeah, that's a war. And 2023, September, it indicates that an economic collapse or something. You see? And then inflation. I marked that down. So next year, 2024, is the fourth horseman of the apocalypse. They call it 4 horsemen. It's even gets worse. It seems to indicate that all the riders from the previous, the black horseman, economic, the red horseman, which is war in Russia, it never really ceased. It just worsened. And in 2023, the economic situation, you can see that it never really subsided. Like when the banks said that they were going to be cutting the rates, but instead they were just continually rising. The rates continually rising, and commodities, the prices are just rising. And then if you back off from the red horseman, it's the white horseman. It conquers, and it has a crown. And a crown in Greek is toxon. The toxon is like something related with pharmaceuticals. It has something to do with the virus, because it conquers the whole earth with nothing fired. So this has to be something that makes the whole world cease by then. Stop. He's conquering. Okay? Conquer. In essence, this connection with the pharma, with whatever they've done, of just stopping the whole thing, many in prophecy circles know that it's in 1 John 5:19 that the world is under the control of Satan. So Satan has a network. So there are people who are really doing the bidding of Satan. This book is written by Robert Kennedy Jr., the son of the assassinated Robert, and then his uncle is JFK, was also assassinated. I went to the website of jfklibrary.org, and there's like a speech that you can hear about John F. Kennedy, and he was really saying that the media is really what it's not not what you expect. It's like one-sided. It's like You can go to jfklibrary.org anyways and just listen to it. And he also mentions about the collusion, the corruption, and stuff like that. He even says about secret societies. Yeah, so you see that? Bill Gates, Big Pharma. And then on this book, when you open it, you see that? Yeah, it's crazy. In fact, it has a list of acknowledgments of various doctors who were really not convinced of just making that crisis become so overblown. There was really just something skeptical about it. And then there was even the issue that the NIH funded for the gain of function virus. He said, I wrote this book to help Americans and citizens across the globe understand the historical underpinnings and the bewildering cataclysm that began in 2020. In that the single annus horribilis liberal democracy effectively collapsed worldwide, the very governmental, health regulators, social media eminences, and media companies that idealistic populations relied upon as champions of freedom, health, democracy, civil rights, evidence-based public policy seemed to collectively pivot in a lockstep assault against free speech and personal freedoms. This is a really a must-buy book that's available in Amazon. You can read about this. So during the publishing of this book, to my understanding, Tucker Carlson, he wasn't yet fired from Fox, but the moment he started really like speaking his mind, eventually he got booted out of Fox. So like I say, in the end times, deception is a very big component of it. And the sad thing about this is it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. When you go towards the end of the book of Revelation, you can see that the leaders, the corruption and stuff that they've been doing, it's just there. It's exposed. Right off the bat, about 3 or 4 years ago, I made a video. I already put it in there that the end goal is the chip that's going to come from WEF, World Economic Forum. They just had their meeting in the end of September in New York, and it really came out that they were going to be chipping everyone on Earth. It's just there. It's in the Bible. Everything is just there. Even the identity of or the number of the beast, the 666. People really think that 666 is just a movie, but actually it's in the book. So on March 11, 2020, that's the cessation of all economic activities when WHO declared a pandemic. There was a patent that was applied. It has the number that's 666. It was actually applied on April 27. So that's like 6 weeks after March 11, April 27, 2020. And this is the patent. And then you can actually see that the patent number and the applicant, it's actually Gates. It's actually Gates. And then they're already mentioning that is tied up with something with the currency. And in the Bible, it really said like no man can buy, sell, or trade unless they have the name and number of the beast. And the name and number of the beast, so it's like it's a patent because it's got a name and it's got a number. And then the number of this patent is, we'll look this up. So this is the World Intellectual Patent something. You can go in the patent scope, WIPO. All you need to do is just read everything there. And that's the patent. I immediately when I saw this, I go like, oh, this is Gates patent. I could understand WO is like world order. You see that's O there, then that's a number there, 0. So I go like, oh, world order 2020, 06, 060. Oh my goodness, there's 666. It's so evident that this thing is the name and number. Once you have this patent, it's with you. It's with you forever. It's identified with you. You are the architect of this patent. So this is the future. It has something to do with trading, which is spoken in the Bible. No man can buy, sell, or trade. And then there's a network, because this is like the internet, because Gates is actually big on the internet. In fact, he's with DARPA. DARPA started the internet. So there's the human activity associated with tax. This one, I knew immediately that this was a something that was inserted, because it can read body fluids. How can you read body fluids if that device is not inserted in you? So I made notes here in this book, the Bible, and this is chapter 18. I have made a lot of notes here. So we can just go to the conclusion of what happened to these people, the kings of the earth and the merchants, the businessmen. Something to do here. Merchants, that says businessmen, were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Sorceries in Greek is pharmakia. You see that? Sorcery, Greek. Use of drugs, medicines, sorcery, witchcraft. Oh my goodness, this is like a scheme, an elaborate scheme. Well, the Bible is really like, it's just a roadmap of seeing things, but sadly, not a lot of people really read the Bible. The book of Revelation even starts with something like, see that? Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy. Reading is what you do. The moment you hear, this is actually like spiritual in nature, because you will just read the Bible and you can just understand things, and just everything just connects together all together. It locks up with certain passages from the book. Sometimes, like this book here, it's the book of Jude, and there are references of some areas where you can find like it makes sense. Like there's a principle that says, like, out of the mouth of two witnesses the truth shall be established. So if somehow you're stuck with understanding the Bible, you can just go into these passages here and it will just click. To make you understand that social engineering is really true, and that there's like brainwashing. Tavistock Institute is, you can search it. It's European Union, in fact, consults with Tavistock Institute. This is the book from Daniel Estulin. Rockefeller funds Tavistock Institute, and you can just read this book, and you can really see what's with the super rich people and how they just manipulate the masses. That's why it says like socially engineering the masses. Manipulation, to think about it, the brain games really started in Genesis. If you read the Bible in Genesis, it's the battle between good and evil. Somehow it's still is the truth of what's happening today. This battle will eventually morph into something that will manifest from the spiritual to the natural realm. It means that whatever demonic things that was seen from the past, somehow this will just gradually become so apparent, become so clear. People will understand that that's the way things are going to be. And because Satan is described as the murderer from the beginning, this time it's going to be like wholesale slaughter. So if you expected that World War II, the slaughter of people was just that, it's going to be really, really worse, because that's how the Bible calls it, as the Great Tribulation, a tribulation which even the past will not compare, and after that there shall never be any tribulation, because actually we are in the conclusion of time. That's why that wormwood asteroid is like it connects with something like towards the end of the book of Revelation, because after that object falls, the pit is open and the demons will come in. Deception, eh? Learmonth Observatory in Australia, tracking this object and just deliberately just not showing it out there, making it very hard to read. But when you go over it, they even quoted this one, Project Wormwood. That's what it is. Third angel sounded. That's what it is. Wormwood. So in conclusion, I read this. For by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourself. It is the gift of God. The gift of God was His Son, Yeshua, or Lord Jesus Christ. He died for us. He shed His blood, the perfect blood, the blood of the divine, the only true high priest and true sacrifice. You see, you remember the gifts of the three kings? There's the gold, frankincense, and myrrh. The very odd thing about that is there's one gift there that denotes an association of death, where gold is for association of king because Jesus is our king. Frankincense is something that is used in the temple by the priest because Jesus is our perfect priest. And myrrh is used for burial because Jesus was our perfect sacrifice.